In the cozy little classroom of Maple Creek Elementary, there was a boy named Isaac who had a head full of wonderful thoughts. His mind was like a secret garden, blooming with curious questions, brilliant ideas, and funny stories. But whenever he was in class, the words would get stuck somewhere between his heart and his mouth. Isaac was very quiet. When his teacher, Miss Anya, asked, "Does anyone know why leaves change color in the fall?" Isaac's hand would feel heavy, even though he knew all about chlorophyll and sunshine. When his friends talked about their favorite superheroes, Isaac wanted to tell them about the one he invented, Captain Comet, who could talk to animals. But his voice would turn into a tiny whisper that no one could hear. His heart would beat like a little drum every time he thought about speaking up. What if he said the wrong thing? What if the other kids giggled? It felt safer to stay quiet in his secret garden of thoughts. One Tuesday, Miss Anya brought a strange object to class. It was a big, lumpy, gray rock with sparkly purple crystals peeking out from a crack in the middle. "This is a geode," she explained. "On the outside, it looks like a plain, ordinary rock. But on the inside, there's a surprise." The class buzzed with excitement. "It's probably full of diamonds," said a girl named Maya. "No, it's a dinosaur egg," guessed a boy named Sam. Miss Anya smiled. "Those are great ideas. But does anyone have another thought?" Isaac looked at the geode. It reminded him of himself, plain and quiet on the outside, but full of something special on the inside. He knew what it was. He had seen one just like it at the museum with his grandpa. The purple crystals were called amethyst. The word tickled his tongue. Amethyst. His heart started its familiar thump, thump, thump. His palms felt a little sweaty. He looked down at his desk. "Don't say it," a little voice in his head whispered. "It's too scary." But then, he looked at the rock again. It sat there, so silent and gray. It couldn't show anyone its beautiful crystals unless someone helped open it up. Isaac felt a little jolt. His thoughts were like those crystals. No one would ever see them if he kept them locked inside. He took a deep, shaky breath. He squeezed his hands together. He thought of Captain Comet being brave. Slowly, his hands started to rise. It felt wobbly, but it went up. Miss Anya's eyes lit up. "Yes, Isaac?" The whole class turned to look at him. The room was suddenly very, very quiet. The thump, thump, thump in his chest was louder than ever. He opened his mouth, and at first, only a squeak came out. He cleared his throat and tried again. I think it's called amethyst," he said. His voice was not a loud roar, but it was clear. It was his. A hush fell over the room as everyone thought about the new word. Miss Anya broke into a huge grin. "Isaac, that is exactly right. What a fantastic word. Can everyone say it with me? Amethyst." The class repeated the word, and Maya turned to Isaac with wide, impressed eyes. "Wow, Isaac, how did you know that?" Isaac felt a warm, happy feeling spread through his chest, chasing the fear away. "I saw one at the museum," he said, a little louder this time. At that moment, Miss Anya carefully tapped the geode with a small hammer, and it split open. Inside, thousands of purple crystals glittered and shone under the classroom lights, like a captured galaxy. The whole class gasped. Oh, but for Isaac, the most beautiful thing wasn't the sparkling amethyst. It was the feeling of his own voice, finally unlocked, shining just as brightly. He didn't stay quiet for the rest of the day. He told Sam all about Captain Comet, and he even raised his hand one more time to ask if amethyst was a superhero's favorite rock. And from that day on, Isaac's secret garden of thoughts had a gate, and he learned that the most wonderful thing of all was opening it up and sharing what was inside. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.